It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Hello, welcome to FootyWit podcast. My name is Ehis Anthony, and this is our game week 5 review of the EPL. It's we're dedicating this episode to the end police brutality, the protest that is happening in Nigeria. We are Nigerians, so we have to join the protest, lend our voice to support the protest that is going on currently. My name is Ehis Anthony once again. And don't be surprised when you're hearing gist about ending police brutality, ending SARS. Don't get confused. You're still on FootyWit podcast, where we talk everything about football. But be it as it may, we need to lend our voice and let people know that yes, we are in support of what is going on currently in Nigeria. We stand by all the youths protesting on the streets in all the cities in Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Benin, Delta, Warri, and all the states in Nigeria were in support of it. I'm not here alone. I'm here with my fellow podcasters in Samiat and Chimamaka. Samiat, how you doing today?
It's mixed feelings. Good evening, guys. It's good to be here again. As Anthony has said, we are in support. We are 100% in support of the end SARS protest. As Nigeria, it is a good time to be Nigerian. It is a great time to be Nigerian. We are very, very proud of everybody standing up for what we deserve, what we truly deserve. We deserve good governance in Nigeria. We deserve to be treated as human. Basically, we deserve better from our government, and this is a great time to be a Nigerian, and I am absolutely proud of everything that is happening in the country. And to those that have died, those who have lost in this battle, pray that their soul rest on, and we pray the people win. Chimamaka, how are you doing this week?
Yeah, I'm doing very great. Actually, as you said, mixed feelings due to everything that's going on in the country. Blending our voices in several ways at which we can do it. On FootyWit podcast, we actually appreciate all our listeners for tuning in and being a part of this journey. But today we'll be talking at least briefly about what's going on in the country, talking about the police brutality going on, and lending our voices. I've been a victim on 3 different occasions, so I know what it is like. It's not like I'm going to be saying my story, but I've been a victim three good times, and it's also an avenue whereby we need to change some things, some wrongful deeds going on in the country. Let those at the helm be accountable for their atrocities. They should be accountable for everything they have to be accountable for. So it's a medium at which we are lending our voices actually to this how do I put it, to this quest, to this
movement.
How do I call it? To this movement, exactly. Thank you for that. To this movement, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. At the long run, we pray and we believe that the goals for this will be accomplished, will be met, and by the grace of God, when it comes to police brutality, the reforms will be put in place immediately, and we'll live a normal life, which is key as youths. Living a normal life is our goal. To train up our children is our goal, and do it in the right conditions. So I'll be happy this comes out good. So to all our viewers, to all our listeners, you're welcome.
You know, it's crazy about this whole issue, because ever since this whole protest started, and we thank God that it started, because we have been crying for so long. So many people have been affected one way or the other. When you begin to hear different story, And the funny thing about it is there is a common denominator to all the stories
Very
that,
personal. Yeah, it is very personal to
yes,
everybody.
and the common denominator
Yeah.
is the police brutality, brutalizing people, you know, you know, making people to do things that they're not supposed to do, not within the legal right, going out of your way, telling people to checking people's phone, checking the amount of money they have, whatever balance is in their account. If an alert comes in, you tell them, you walk them to the nearest ATM to push them or force them to withdraw money and give to you. And at the end of the day, you collect the money from them, money that they've worked tirelessly for, and you collect it and you tell them to go their way. And if they don't do that, you could either kill them there. We've heard of so many things about people that have died from the hands of the police. Why can't we be free to walk in the streets of Nigeria that we call our own? I'm so sad. It's so sad. So sad. I've not been affected.
Wow.
I've been lucky. I've not been affected, but I have people that I know that have been affected. Family, friends.
I'm one of them, actually.
And this is
I'm
you
one
too,
of them.
hearing your
I
opinion.
don't want to share my story. It's painful. I can remember then I'll just give you 1 minute of it. I was in school then, and I realized, okay, I was in my final year in my lodge. I was actually cooking that day, that fateful day. I was cooking beans, to be precise. And in my hands, I had my knife and I had my onion in my hand. I was actually dicing onion into the pot of beans. And lo and behold, SAS operatives came to the building and they started shooting sporadically.
Wow.
And I had to lay down on the ground. Unfortunately, they came into the building and saw me with a knife and an onion in my hand. And they picked me up to the station and said I was a cultist.
Wow.
Because I had a knife that had onion in my hand. And I was there a full night.
They should tell us the name of the cults that use onion and knife.
And knife. I don't know if you understand. So it was very funny. It was not fun. They started demanding for. I was a student in my final year who is actually doing my project, and you're expecting to bring out the money I've set aside for my project. Those who are billing themselves out of cell that night with 100,000, 200. I never had that money. I was hustling, and you can imagine those kind of things. That is just one. There are so many. There are two others I can mention, but let's not bore our fans with all these things. But that's why we need to lend our voices. Either you've been affected. Individually, collectively, whichever means, it's an avenue for us to voice out. Let our voices be heard, and let's bring about change, which is key. Let's bring about change.
Samiat, have you had any,
Yes. So many, not personally, but I've had instances where, like 2 times, that I have a personal, I have personal contact with the police over 2 times, and it has not been pretty. And I still get PTSD when I see the police. You can, if you are beside me, you see me shaking whenever I sight the police. It is, and I've had friends of mine, male friends of mine, that there was even somebody that was telling me that he was coming from Tajud. It's like a Muslim night DJ the other night, and they just stopped their car. They decided they were Yahoo boys, and why are you coming from anywhere by this time of the night? It was around 4:30. They were coming back from the mosque from a vigil, and they just stopped them, and there they started slapping them, accusing them of whatnot. At the end of the day, they collected 50,000 naira from them before they could let them go. We have heard stories, we have heard different things, and it's just quite sad.
So
it's
sad.
Quite sad, and enough is enough. Enough is enough. It is time for our voice to be heard.
Yeah.
It is very important that our voice is heard and we get what we demand. We are not asking for too much. We just ask to live a normal life in this country of ours. They are not asking for too much.
Where we can walk freely. We can walk freely on the streets.
Exactly, and just exist freely.
Yeah.
As humans on the streets. The governments, they deserve to just listen and do the right thing. We are not asking for too much.
Well, we're on FootyWit podcast. We're in support of this movement. We've even had to, put up a couple of posts on our social media platform to join in solidarity with the youths on the street protesting. And I know one way or the other, some of us have gone and joined the protest, which I trust, and even when the protest persists, we will still be part of it. We're not saying the police entirely, the police units are bad. We're not saying the police unit is bad. What we're saying is there's some functional units within the police, which is this FSAS, that we're really targeting. And this is just a tip of the iceberg, because so many other things will unveil. So many restructuring like they were clamoring for will unveil. Like I said, we're on FootyWit podcast. We lend our voice with the protest, and we're in solidarity with the end police hashtag end police brutality, and also hashtag end SARS. So we move straight up into the EPL game week 5 review. So many drama happened, a lot of draws, starting from the Chelsea game. Chelsea, we thought they could have
game.
Starting from the Everton Liverpool game, the Merseyside derby, Chelsea as well, and also we saw the one that happened today with Tottenham, 3-goal up, and West Ham came back 3-3. Even earlier before, 2 games have been played earlier before today. Sheffield United drawing with Fulham 1-1, Crystal Palace, and also sharing the spoils with Brighton and Hove Albion. Yesterday's results saw Manchester City defeating Arsenal and Manchester United winning 4-1. I think those are the only guys that have won this week already. And currently, Leicester City and Aston Villa is going on. 66 minutes gone, still 0-0. So where do we start from, guys? Merseyside derby, Everton, Liverpool.
Yeah, we'll start from there.
Samiat?
Yeah, it was an action-packed game. It was an action-packed game as expected, and there were some critical points where there were some decisions made and here and there, but overall it was an action. A derby is always intense with all of everybody, with heightened energy and all of that. So it was an action-packed game. Liverpool deserved a win in that match. They deserved the win, but I guess will I say they were unlucky? But it is what it is. The game these days, yes, the
VAR coming.
Is changing. It is a reality we have to just come in terms with. The dynamic of the game is changing.
Chimamaka?
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, Sonia. I would have. Yeah, I saw the derby coming in very action-packed, which it was, but VAR came into action. The Liverpool team actually had an edge over Everton, but being the fact that Everton has started the season on a good note, so the energy was different, the zeal was different, the fight was different. Yes, we saw chances in the game whereby Liverpool were supposed to have sealed the match, but VAR came in handy. And let's not forget, at the 8th minute, between 8th and 13th minutes of the game, they lost their captain.
Yep.
Or their vice captain, Virgil van Dijk, to a serious injury that let him out, which gave which gave Everton the chance to score with a header.
Yeah.
So these are things we also have to look at as well. It was actually a very good derby. I expected them to share the spoils, and it came out. But at the long run, Liverpool we are a step ahead. But VAR came against them. As it is what it is. It's football. VAR has come to take its part. We have to play with it. So that's what we have for the derby.
Yeah, so just to quickly chime in to what you said about Virgil van Dijk, an update came up few hours ago about the injury. It shows Van Dijk will face a lengthy layoff because he's gonna. The injury he got in that match was his knee, which is an anterior cruciate ligament, an ACL injury, which could put him to be out for like 6 months. and there's every possibility it could come back before 6 months. But what does this leave Liverpool? Because we were discussing before we started the podcast, Samiat mentioned that Van Dijk had played every minute of the league game ever since he joined Liverpool on the club since January 2018. Now, this is a big blow for Liverpool with this Van Dijk injury. So what do you guys see to this? Does this affect Liverpool's title defense? You know, in our last podcast, we discussed seriously, and we looked at it critically about the chances Liverpool have to defend their title. With this injury coming up to Van Dijk, which has been an integral part of Jurgen Klopp's team, does this affect Liverpool one way or the other in terms of defending the title? Samiat?
It's a big blow. It's a loss, regardless of how it turned out. It's a big loss because Van Dijk present at the back is something we have seen. Even with Alisson not available now, Van Dijk present at the back, he always keeps it steady, and we have seen him flop once or twice, but still you can't deny that Van Dijk present at the back. The goal that Liverpool conceded after he went out, you could see it's something that he could have easily been there to. Is his area of specialty, something he could have easily been there to just clear off. And looking at the long run, this is going to be. It's not going to be easy for Liverpool because we have seen them being porous since the beginning of the season. They started even with Van Dijk. They started the first match of the season was with Leeds. We saw them concede how many goals? Yeah, 4.
Three goals.
It was 3 goals.
3 goals.
But the match ended for 3. Yeah, it was 3 goals. We saw them concede 3 goals, and we have seen them concede so many goals, even with the presence of Van Dijk. Now with Van Dijk gone, it has to be the partnership of Gomez and Matip at the back. We don't know what Klopp wants to work with, but we'll just assume that will be the steady. Fabiano can play the centre back. So I think we've seen him. Fabinho, we've seen him done that in a match or 2. So it's a big blow. I think it's a big blow. I think it's going to affect them a bit, but I think Klopp will find a way around it. But I see a lot of goals against Liverpool this season. They are already porous, even with Van Dijk. So with him being out, it's going to affect them. It's going to affect them. But I think Klopp will find a way around it. We just have to wait and see.
Chimamaka?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Samiat. I do agree with you, big time. Well, they've actually been very vulnerable this season since the start of the new EPL season. Considering 3 against Leeds United is a question to be answered. Actually, for them to have considered 3 with their best defender there, then there was actually a problem. Now yesterday
they considered 7 as well.
Game, so yeah, exactly. Against Aston Villa, considered 7 as well. Now in the first 4 games or first 5 games of the season, and you've done over 10 goals already compared to last season where they were champions. We know at this stage of this competition last season, they hadn't considered as much as they have this season, which tells you about the vulnerability in the defense. Now
before the Everton game, they've considered 11 goals.
Yes.
7-3-1.
11 goals, yep. Which by this time last season they had not done that. By this time last season they had not considered 11 goals.
Yeah.
So it only shows the like I said earlier, the vulnerability in the defense. Now, with the strength of Van Dijk there, we know that yes, Van Dijk has been the best defender Liverpool has had since his signing, who has actually not missed an EPL game, which is a very good record for a defender of his caliber. Now he's out. The question I should be asking now is what is Klopp's answer to this kind of disaster? Now, if he's going to have an answer, I don't know what answer he's going to have. I know what he has on the bench. Guys who have always been paired with Van Dijk, and they've conceded loads of goals already. So I don't know. He has to think. Now he has gotten to a situation whereby he would have to go to his dressing room or to his bench to go and start digging out solutions. Yes, we realize that Fabinho can stand in, but for how long? Let's not forget that even Fabinho coming into standing as a centre back,
He's not a natural central defender.
It's not a natural.
It's not a natural. It's natural position. So as it stands, we don't know. We don't know what club has to offer. Now this is the time. Let's not forget the transfers are over. You don't have the EPL does not give you the room that La Liga gives you to get another player from another team at the judgment of the team, like what happened with Barcelona and Celta Vigo last season when they brought in this guy, I can't remember his name, at the middle of the season. So it doesn't happen with the EPL. So Van Dijk club has to come up with a solution as it stands. So I wish them and I wish Klopp and Liverpool all the best of luck as it stands, because I don't know what solution they have to give the fans.
Well, I think the perfect solution or the probable solution will be to buy in January, or because if he wants to use Fabinho in that,
even January is too far.
It's too far.
Yeah.
Can he sustain this? Can he sustain? And let's not forget the Champions League starting tomorrow. It's starting on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yeah.
And Matip, aside from Gomez and Matip, I think there are still some options with maybe you can pull some options from the youth team.
There's a guy. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
How formidable are they?
He played well against.
Questions we're going to ask ourselves.
He played well against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. I've forgotten his name.
So yeah, maybe when given a chance, we don't know. Yes, we just have to wait and see. We don't know yet. Maybe they can
wait and see exactly.
But January is January is a long time. A lot can happen before January.
A lot can happen.
You're going to play at least you play more than 18 matches before January. At least 18 matches before January. So what are we saying? So it's a lot. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. Let's believe that they find the solution fast.
Yeah, so joining us from United States of America, Atlanta, Georgia, is Tunde. You're doing with the Manchester United fan.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Tunde.
It's good to have you.
Welcome, bro.
It's good to have you on the podcast. So we're dedicating this podcast to the protest, the movement happening in Nigeria. I know you're not part of the movement. I know you're here with us in spirit.
I am in spirit here and online.
Yes, online protesters.
So we all gave our 1 minute intro concerning the issue going on presently in Nigeria. So how do you have something to say concerning the end SARS and end police brutality hashtags?
Yeah, we'll continue. We move. End SARS, end police brutality, end bad governance, and all the people that have taken Nigeria for granted for far too long. We need to end all of them. I know it's a one step at a time type thing, and we are ready. We are patient. Like I posted on social media yesterday. It doesn't even matter if we don't have anything to offer the next generation. If this, like giving them a clean slate to start on, giving them a clean slate to work on, that is enough gift from our generation to the next, because it has been far too long. We've taken all of this from all of these people for far too long, and I think it's time for us to step up and do what is required, which is what we're doing right now. Protesting, stepping up to occupy those positions when they become available, when it's time to register to vote, go out and vote for our people. And yeah, this is the beginning of the end for all of those who have thought they can continue to siphon all the goodness and greatness that Nigeria has to offer. So yes, end all of them.
Yep. That's Tunde's voice from Atlanta, Georgia. We moving on to Chelsea's match against Southampton at the Bridge. Impressive, 3-0 up. And
no, 2-1 up.
Sorry, apologies, 2-1 up. You know, I'm not in a good state of mind right now. This whole situation happening, we're not really thinking straight. 2-1 up. We saw the Owler, Arrizabalaga again, in the coming to show Lampard that he doesn't deserve that spot. Mendy was out injured, So Arrizabalaga should have. He's not even in second in terms of what do they call it? In terms of pecking order. This other guy, the Argentine goalkeeper, comes after Mendy. But I don't know why Caballero. We don't know why he didn't start, but okay, Arrizabalaga was given the chance and he had to show the entire world that yes, it is me, myself and I. While again. Guys, let's just look at this. Samiat, Chelsea.
Yes. Chelsea. Well, it's been the defense for Chelsea. We have seen the attack. We saw Timo come out with the full force, with the full German force. We saw his two beautiful goals. With Chelsea, I think Lampard has to get the defense in order. He has to find a way to make a solid decision with the goalkeeping. He has to make a firm decision because he's having serious problem. And we thought Mandy was going to come in and be his light in shining armor, but Mandy is out for now, and he has big decisions to make there in the goalkeeping area. But overall, I expected more from Chelsea yesterday, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Chimamaka, you're the Chelsea fan, because I know you have a lot to say.
Yeah, as a Chelsea fan, I will talk as a Chelsea fan before I start analyzing what has to be analyzed. First, I was bitter with the turn up of play after the game was 2-1. We felt so relaxed and felt that we are in total control, forgetting that the Southampton side are very, very dangerous when given the chance. We've seen it severally in the EPL. They are not a team to just whitewash like that. They come in hard. So we saw, there's some positives in the game though. For the fact it was a 3-3 draw, which would have been a win for Chelsea, in my opinion, and they bottled it.
And
we saw some positives. We saw that, we saw some positives in the game. That is having Kai Havertz masterminding the number 10 role, and he did a magnificent job at that. I wouldn't rule that out. Then Timo Werner also doing a great job as a striker who was bought for over 50 million pounds. So it's a good thing to have them score goals, actually. So those are things you're also going to pick from the game. Then let's take it back to the defense. Frank Lampard's problem has totally been in the defense. It's either is in the central defender or the goalkeeping position. Unfortunately for Chelsea, they had to lose Edward Mendy to a thigh injury sustained in the at the FIFA break.
While it was an action with Senegal,
Yes, with Senegal. So that was actually a loss for Chelsea, not having Mendy at goal, because I don't see those kind of things happening. And again, we will not entirely leave the entire blame to Kepa. Kepa has his days. He doesn't have his days any longer. I think he has had more of bad days than good days.
Than good
putting on the Chelsea jersey. Lately, he's been the scapegoat. Either any defender makes unnecessary errors, he's blamed for it, because it's like when Chelsea make blunders, Kepa is always in goal. So we saw the one he did yesterday. It was caused by Zuma, but his reaction towards it was I don't know.
Yeah, it was a poor back pass from Zuma. Poor back pass. Yep.
So poor back, but we expect he's the last man on the pitch. So he was more like following. In fact, I cannot explain what happened there, because if you look at it as you think it's primary school guys playing football and making unnecessary mistakes. If you can buy a goalkeeper for 72 million and he's making such kind of mistakes, Zuma has his part to play, but you should cover. So that's that for that. Then the third goal came out of lack of defensive organization. That happened because of a wrongly organized defense. So these are things that have to be sorted out. I realized that in the attack now, Chelsea is actually firing on all cylinders. In every game they've played,
but the defense keep letting them down.
They can, which means they can do more. But with the defense, We lost. We couldn't play Thiago Silva because of the long trip he had all the way from South America. He also featured for Brazil during the week, in the course of last week. So having to come back into Chelsea and get a game time with the over trip, he couldn't make the team. So I shouldn't be creating excuses for Lampard. The defense has to be sorted out, and he has to do something fast. If not, the defense will be his downfall in Chelsea. That's my take on it.
Tunde, I know you have a lot to say about Kepa.
Yeah, I do have a lot to say about Kepa, but for this draw, Lampard is at fault. I blame Lampard because you have openly or somewhat openly stated, your number one is Mendy. Yeah, we understand that Mendy is injured. I honestly thought that Kepa was down to number 3 in the pecking order. So if Kepa is down to number 3, why is Kepa still starting ahead of Galore in a Premier League game? That's for Lampard to answer. So I believe it's more of a Lampard fault than Kepa, because it's crazy if you didn't know that Kepa was terrible. He was one who decided to buy another goalkeeper to replace Kepa. Now, this season is going to go down. I believe that this season is going to go down to the wire. This season is going to come down to the last day of the season. And it is one thing when you lose a game, when you're beaten, when you're outplayed and you're beaten. That's different from your selection costing you a valuable 2 points. I hope that Lampard will look back in coming months and wish that he had gotten those 2 points against Southampton, because if he had made the right call, we're not saying that Chelsea would have definitely beaten Southampton if Caballero was in goal, but with the errors that we saw, we can blame Zuma all we want, but it is still Lampard who chose to put Kepa, who eventually made the ultimate error for that equalizer. So I believe, I hope and pray that Lampard don't come back to wish he had gotten those 2 points. But with this season going the way it is, I believe that every point you can get would be valuable for whatever position you are aspiring to get at the end of this season.
Yeah.
Between now and January, or maybe not January, between now and Christmas, all the big teams are going to be playing at least 2 games every week. It's going to tell.
It's going to tell, really.
Everyone, so,
yeah. But credit needs to be credit needs to go to Southampton, because they stayed in the game despite losing position 2-1, and they got back 2-2, and after that Chelsea went ahead again until they got in the late equalizer towards the end of the game. Credit needs to go to Southampton. Like Chimamaka mentioned, Southampton is not a team that you feel you can just brush aside. If you want to kill Southampton, ensure you kill them like 2-3 goals ahead, and you're comfortable. With 1 goal, it's always a case, so it's always a worry when you play Southampton. It's all good. They shed the spoils 1-1. So moving on straight to Manchester City, Arsenal. Apprentice versus the tutor. We all saw this. I knew it was going to be a tight game, because both managers, and they know each other like the back of their palms, or like their palm rather. They know each other. Arteta learned from Guardiola, so he knows what Guardiola was going to bring up, and also Guardiola has tasted defeat in the hands of Arteta, so he knew what Arteta was coming up with as well. It was a cagey match for me, more like an anticlimax, because we expected the match to come with a lot of intrigue, a lot of talking points, see a lot of goals, but surprisingly, Manchester City were able to score 1, and I was surprised that Manchester City defended that 1 goal with all their life. It was a different Manchester City that I saw yesterday, because Manchester City will go all out, wanting to score more. I noticed they stopped playing from the back. All balls, goal kick, they tell Henderson to play into the field, like infield. They stopped playing from the back, and it was an instruction that Guardiola gave. But what's your take on, like I said, great performance from Manchester City, great goal. They saw the chance, they took it, and Arsenal, lackluster performance. I don't know what Arteta was thinking, playing Willian as a false nine. But let me leave it to you guys to analyze. Samiat.
Yeah, it was not the action packed game as anticipated, and Manchester City scored the goal and they held on to the lead. There were some key chances. And Anderson was fantastic in the game. He held his I go and I fight for my lead kind of game. So yeah, it was just there.
Chimamaka.
Yeah, from that game, there are so many things I picked from the game actually. Yeah, it's a game of the master and the apprentice. You realize that Arteta actually has a mind of, or he has an idea of what Guardiola tends to offer. But if you realize yesterday's game, if you looked at it critically, you realize Guardiola did not play the Guardiola game. He didn't give room to play his game because Arteta would block every loophole. He would take advantage of every loophole in that game. So what did Guardiola do? Guardiola just decided to win the balls, don't hold it for too long, take aim at goal, and make use of the chances you get. He had that one chance. Actually, the mastermind to the whole 1-0 defeat was Raheem Sterling. He was exceptional in that game. You cannot rule his impact in that game out. He found the chance. He made deadly crosses. He made deadly attempts. Eventually, the goal came in, and Arsenal were found wanting. Now, where Arteta actually lost it is because yes, he has trained with Guardiola and believed that Guardiola wouldn't come with a plan B. What happened yesterday was a plan B that Guardiola came out with. Like you said earlier, Ederson was playing. In fact, the whole Man City was not playing from behind. We are boosting the ball into the center of the park, let everybody go there and fight for it. Which is been a while we've seen that in any Guardiola team.
Yeah, Man City's game.
Because you know if you play from the back, an Arsenal attack line will put so much pressure on you and you'll be forced to make mistakes. And we know that lately Guardiola's team have been having these self-made mistakes in the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way they can tackle that with an Arsenal team that is hungry to come and attack you is to play the ball all out. And that's what they did all through the game. Yeah, Ederson was exceptional. You will rule out Arsenal's chances. But I believe if it didn't work for you in the first half, you should have brought about a solution or another alternative to work for you better in the second half. That was what Arteta did not do. Now, using Willian as a false nine. Willian has over 10 years of football experience and has never played as a false nine. And he has never been impactful as a false nine. But yesterday I saw it, and it was actually it looked more like cartoon to me. So I don't know what Arteta was thinking.
Really?
I don't know what he was thinking. Probably he felt one magic wand. He would just wave a magic wand, pop, and something will happen. No. That's not football for you. There's no magic wand done in football. So he needs to go and sit back and see how he's going to tackle other teams who are going to come playing this pattern of football. So that's my take.
Tunde.
So I mean, you both have said it like it is. Yesterday's game between Man City and Arsenal was a master meets apprentice type game, and it just showed. And it is something that we have seen in the past with Arteta versus Pep. But yesterday brought a different dynamics to it, being that yesterday's game was more of what Pep had learned from Arteta. Pep had watched Arteta over the years, and I think we know that
over the months, you mean?
Over the month, sorry. We know that with Arteta, he shored up that Arsenal's defense. He did whatever he could to make that Arsenal's defense as good as it is right now. Arteta leaving Guardiola with all that he had learned. I believe that's what he used to do that yesterday. Not just yesterday, but over the past few months. Yesterday, Pep showed also a different part of him that, hey, you did not just learn from me, but I also learned from you. And that was what he did. That's why he was able to put up a team that was able to hold Arsenal from scoring. Able to keep them away from scoring. So I honestly was watching the game yesterday and I was like, wow, this is a different side of Guardiola than we've ever seen before. But it just pointed to me that hey, this is the same type of defense that Arteta had brought into Arsenal. So it was more, for me, I just saw it as it was more of the master learning from the apprentice. And it worked out well for Man City.
But for me, what I saw yesterday, as an Arsenal fan, we've been battered. We've been battered, pummeled in games like this. And the transition Arteta is trying to achieve, taking Arsenal from that point to a point where it will make Arsenal a very competitive side. Yes, it's getting closer. Maybe one or two more additions will get Arsenal there. It was, yes, even though Arsenal lost, if you notice in our prediction, I said it was going to be a draw. It was going to be a draw, and you could see where Arteta is taking Arsenal to. Yes, he lost, and it was a good goal from Manchester City. They saw the opportunity, they took it. Arsenal too had one or two chances, but good saves from Ederson, and that's what shows you. That's why the goalkeeper is part of the defense. When the defense get beaten, the goalkeeper stands out. He made a couple of saves, and one thing I saw yesterday, Leno was hardly troubled. And that shows where Arteta is pushing Arsenal to. That stability in the back line. Once he achieves that, I think if those guys up front start firing, Arsenal will be difficult to beat from the top 6 because they've really lost to the top 6 in the past 5 years. Looking at the stats yesterday, for the past 5 years, the goal scored is 20-2 between Arsenal and Manchester City in the league. That's crazy. Crazy. And previous matches at the Etihad Stadium, Arsenal get beat 3-1, 6-2, 6-1, 5-1, 4-0. But yesterday, as an Arsenal fan, yes, even if you're sad that you lost, but the performance was something that you could hold your head high and say, yes, Arteta is taking us there. Though he still needs one or two signings to put us into that stead, into that limelight. But it was a great performance. Like I said, anticlimax. Tactical nous from both teams, both managers, because they know each other. I think that was what made it so boring, right, guys?
Yeah,
exactly.
Everybody's being there. They're watching each other.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just look to see if, I know the next move you make. It's
going to make more like everybody. I had the key to this guy's doors. This guy had the key to my doors. How do we do it? So, well, it became boring at some point. Like both managers are actually doing the same thing. Now, who is going to break this? Who is going to break this barrier that both of you are feeding to the whole world to watch? Eventually, we saw the little nudge from City. It took advantage, and you realize, look at yesterday's game. The moment they scored that 1-0, Guardiola has something that he does. He keeps at least 2 or 3 players outside the box 18, outside the 18-yard box, so that in case of any ball that comes into their own box 18, they have 3 guys who are going on the counter. Mm-hmm. But the moment they scored that goal, they were having 10 players behind the ball defending.
Defending.
So it was a different Guardiola approach to the game.
Yeah, like Tunde mentioned.
He has watched Arteta, and he studied that this is what Arteta does. So now the question I'm asking Arteta is this: what is going to be your plan B if such kind of things will occur in game with other teams? Because other teams are going to play the same thing. They will come out and say, okay, this person's winning formula. If it works for him, it can work for me. If they try it out and it works, then they'll keep up with it.
No, with the with the signing of Partey, I think he's going to change his formation, because if you notice in the last 15 minutes or the last 10 minutes where Partey came in, he changed the formation to a back 4, went 4-4-1, 4-1-2, 4-1-2-3, and
we just we only prove that it works, because formation doesn't mean it's going to work. I'm taking it back to Lampard. Lampard, all through his emergence as Chelsea manager, he has been playing the 4-2-3. Okay, he's been playing the 4-2-3-1 formation. But there are times he switches to the 4-3-3, outright 4-3-3. Aside those two formations, yeah, he has played more with the 4-2-3-1. Aside the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-3 formation, Lampard has no other solution when it comes to tight situations. So these are things I want. I don't know why I keep talking about Mourinho. Mourinho will play. He can play 4-1-6 up front. I don't know if you understand. If you know Mourinho. He can put 4 defenders at the back, put one defensive midfielder, and put an entire attack line up front.
Well, we're still coming to Mourinho.
He can play 4 strikers. So that's a Mourinho, because these are of he. I believe he sees beyond what happens in a game. He judges a game by the outcomes. So on his own, he does his own statistics, and he sees, okay, in this game I can have 2 red cards, I can have 1 yellow card, I can have a player that is injured, and he pre-plans all these things. Now, my question to other managers is, do they pre-plan? Yes, Mourinho is not doing that presently because of the squad he has. I'm not saying that, but in the past, I watched Mourinho playing Porto, and I watched Porto in the Champions League 2004. You cannot rule out Porto for the emergence of everybody. Everybody played a big part. He came into Chelsea, first 2 years in Chelsea, he did the same thing. There were times that we had a John Terry who was the goalkeeper, yes, because of injuries. And there are times that we saw Didier Drogba play right back. I want you to understand, these are things that you don't actually expect. But this man thinks about these things. I can remember the days we had Bulaus. Bulaus is a defender. He played Bulaus to go and play as a top striker.
As a 9, yeah.
Number 9.
Remember.
I don't know if you understand. So
crazy.
He pre-plans things. He pre-plans these things. I'm not saying he's the best manager in the world, but I believe they should implement some of these things he does. Pre-plan a match, so that in case of this happens, you can bring in this. And now, why I fault managers presently is because when they have a beefed enough 23-man squad, they don't know who to put on the bench. They start finding difficult on players that would sit on the bench actually. So, well, it's football. I'm not the manager. I'm just an analyst. I would only say what I can say. So that's my take on it.
Yeah. So we'll move to the red side of Manchester United. Emphatic win at Newcastle yesterday, 4-1. Flurry of goals towards the end of the game, defeating Newcastle United 4-1. I know we have Manchester United fans here. Samiat. Well, hold on. Before Samiat comes, there was a Manchester United fan that said, "Hey, seeing the lineup, he gives up. Manchester United ain't gonna win." But later,
I remember that. I saw that too as well.
But later, Manchester United won, and it was all smiles. Samiat, take it up from there.
Yeah, going into the game, well, I didn't anticipate the win because of the form we have witnessed over the past couple of matches. But seeing the team pulling it together, going all in to pull the win, I think not starting Pogba was a good decision on Ole's side, because Pogba has not been in his A game, and he needs to give Van Beek more starting chances. We have seen how creative he can be, and Mata was exceptional in the match yesterday. It's good to see this Manchester United side that we know, this creative and this attacking force of Manchester United that we know. With Cavani coming into this mix, I think it's going to be exciting to watch. It's going to be an exciting team to watch, but still going back, they still need there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the left side with formation and all of that, and player selection and all of that. But it was an amazing match, seeing them going into the game fighting for that win and eventually getting it. Wan-Bissaka first goal. I'm excited. I'm super excited, and it was an amazing match. Yeah.
After 50 games.
Yeah.
Scoring his first goal.
I'm excited for him.
Tunde, Chimamaka, just let Tunde chip in. Okay, Chimamaka, you can continue.
Yeah, the game was. I felt United was going to win, but when I saw according to what Tunde said yesterday, on seeing the lineup, my heart skipped a beat. And it was amazing that they were able to pull out a 4-1 win. In previous podcasts that we've had, I've talked about the importance of a one matter in a team. He's not a physical player, but he's one of those players who can create chances when he has the ball at his feet. That's what happened with Manchester United yesterday. The change came in with Mata's presence. At the first half, we saw what they were playing. They struggled all through the first half. Yeah, there were chances they were taking. Newcastle United were sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't come in. In fact, they didn't play the game like they actually wanted to win. But they had their chance. They scored a goal. I believe, okay, at 1-1, let us see where this will take us to. But the second half, I realized they all went to bed. That the Newcastle team went to bed. And Manchester United decided to punish them at the last 15 minutes of the game. And this is the last 10 or last 15 minutes of the game. They had to dole in 3 extra goals.
Yeah, those goals came in towards the end of the game. Yeah.
Towards the end of the game, yes, we saw the other goal that was cancelled by VAR.
86, 90th.
No.
86, 90th minutes and then 6 minutes.
The penalty that this guy missed. Fernandez missed the penalty, so it was good to see him lose a penalty actually after he's galloping and playing the ball. So I was happy to see that. So I gave the game to Manchester United too, because at the second half, I saw a different United. I saw a different approach to the game. I saw a different hunger. I saw a different zeal.
Yes, they all now, United.
This is the United we have longed to always see. But the problem that Ole has in that thing is motivating his players to keep up that particular pace for 90 minutes. He has succeeded in not achieving that for 90 minutes. He can give you that in 10 minutes, it will be wonderful. He will give you that in 45 minutes, it will be awesome. But can't he keep it up to 90 minutes? That will ask that. So we saw a different United yesterday, and at the end of the game, they were very wonderful. Rashford was very instrumental at the attack.
Yes, I was going to mention that.
MVP.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
He was awesome. I wouldn't rule Rashford's impact in that game out. But Rashford cannot be used. Rashford will actually be useless when there is no creative player like Juan Mata on the pitch. Juan Mata, yeah, you won't rule out Fernandez's impact. He was there. He's also hungry for goals. He has the input he brings into the team. But if you have a midfield that is shaking, you won't give the hungry strikers goals to score. Is what I saw yesterday. Now we saw a midfield that was reshaped, and some players were given room to play. They are not sitting down on one position. They were given room to explore,
to express themselves. I think another thing Manchester United did yesterday, they expressed themselves.
To express themselves, and they took advantage of that. And saw them scoring. I can't remember last time I saw United scoring 4 goals in a match. I'm not a United fan, but they hardly, in the past, they've not given 4 goals in a game. It's difficult. The last time I can remember that was against Chelsea, 4-0. That's like 4 decades ago. But lately, we've not been seeing them doing that. It's either they are giving a scrappy win 1-0, 2-1, all those kind of things. But
3-2, 3-2 against Brighton.
Scoring 4 goals in a game. I think it's going how many matches that they've even given us 4 goals in a game. So I'm happy to have seen that yesterday. It was a good one, but on Newcastle side, those guys need to go back to the drawing board and start all over again. They don't know what they're doing. It
was a good win for Manchester United just to get them back to the Premier League. 3 games now, and it's good it got them back to winning ways. 2 out of 1. So let's see how it goes from there. Newsflash: Aston Villa defeated Leicester City. It ended 1-0 in favor of Aston Villa. Impressive. As how many points? 4 out of 4. 4 out of 4. That's 12 points. Crazy. Yes, just to round off this podcast, we look at the Tottenham game that happened earlier today, London derby against West Ham United. Losing 3 goals advantage and coming to draw the game 3-3 at home. Jose Mourinho, the special one.
Then before, special one before.
Samiat.
Before we go into crucify Mourinho, but I have to commend Son and Kane. The combination, the energy, the form is just amazing. But it's always exciting to watch both of them these days, and the whole Tottenham dynamic is fun. But I after the first half, I was seeing a comfortable win for Tottenham. Then where West Ham just started fighting, they started bringing the fight to them, and I think it all comes from some of the changes Mourinho made. The game started, they started losing the game for there. It was all these the goals were there, they came in less than 10 minutes. These goals, they just, it was the pressure, and West Ham did not give.
I think the first 16 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, they kept on fighting, and they got a point out of it, a well-deserved point, because they fought for it. I know Mourinho is going to nag, is going to complain, but this one is on him. From my point of view, this one is on him. They could have easily just won that game easily, but this one is on Mourinho.
Chimamaka.
Well, it's on Mourinho actually. It's actually on Mourinho. There are no two ways to explain it. At the end of the first half, I saw the first half and I was like, oh, this is a comfortable win for Spurs. I expected 3 points in the bag for them. But yeah, we're talking Mourinho. Let's take it. I know the fans guys have to put in. West Ham, there's no. If you check West Ham's last game, I think there's a different motivation.
Yeah, there's a different thing to this West Ham side this season. There's a different thing to them, like a lifting.
There's a different.
Yeah.
Most teams will underrate. Yes, they are just coming with fire and energy.
Are you seeing Aston Villa? Aston Villa actually struggled for relegation from the beginning of the season to.
Same as West Ham as well. West Ham struggled relegation last season.
Now they've done 4 games. Yes. Now even if they are the first team already. But so have you seen the fight in these guys? They are ready to do anything. And you realize that the team spirit, I don't know, I think the big teams are lacking big team spirit. Why the small teams are building on team spirit? Because it takes only a team to come out with such kind of results, such kind of energy. I saw the first half of the game and I saw 3-0. I felt, okay, let me go back to bed. At 89th minute, and I saw 3-2. And I'm like, are these guys joking? Before I could switch stations and change channels, I came back and I saw 3-3. I'm like, oh.
Powerful third goal.
It was a screamer. It was a screamer from Lanzini.
So you see that these guys are hungry. So now, as it stands, we are talking the top 6, the Super 4, the Super 5, the Super. My brother, this season is an eye opener to everybody who underrates any team. Everybody would have said Aston Villa is in the park.
For me, it just shows.
All of our saying it's just 4 matches. It's just 4 matches. For crying out loud, they've beaten Leicester City today.
At home.
Leicester City are playing in Europe. I don't know if you understand that.
Yeah, they beat Leicester City at home.
So they've beaten the EPL
current champions.
Current champions. I don't know if you understand. So these guys are coming to cause upset. They are coming to cause serious upsets to any team who underrates them.
True.
So there's no small boy again in the EPL. They are all spending. The acquisition that Aston Villa has had this season. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Aston Villa. I was talking about the West Ham game. I was saying it on some podcasts back that their acquisition of getting Emi Martinez. Oh my God. People don't know what that guy has to offer. Somebody who has waited for 10 years just to get a starting shirt, and you think he will not die there. Now West Ham is doing the same thing. West Ham is giving everybody and telling them you cannot just push us off. There are no push-offs. So the EPL now is hungry. Every team is hungry. Southampton did it yesterday. Southampton who lost 9-0 to Leicester City beginning of last season, if you can remember. Came to fight to get a draw. So there are so many things are happening. Everton now is putting Liverpool on the edge. We saw what happened yesterday. We are seeing game week 5. Those who actually staked or put their money for games on game week 5 would have cried if they put it on wins. Even here on our podcast, we saw what happened.
Predictions went south.
If you have a video that's recorded, everybody will carry hands and be wiping their tears because
Predictions are off.
I've seen very off, way off. I was thinking that would give me an edge. Man,
well, I predicted right. I predicted a draw for that match. I predicted a draw.
Oh, I didn't predict a draw. I didn't even see a draw coming in because I saw Mourinho doing normal that he does to West Ham.
I predicted
and look at Leicester City as something.
I predicted a draw, and I think the goal came in. The goal came in towards the end of the match by Ross Barkley.
End of the game now, 91 minutes. I just saw it up now. First minute. So this season there is no push off. And if you realize goals have been coming in, equalizers are always coming in at 98th minutes, 91st minutes. Or you see, okay, Man U had their 4th goal at 91st minute yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys had their draw at 91st minute too as well.
No, Man U had theirs 96th. They had the 3rd goal 90th, and they had the 4th goal 96th.
Yeah, okay, it was 90th. It was 90th I saw. I believe it was the 3rd goal. So you see, people are bringing out accurate things at 90th minute. So the game is not over until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Aston Villa did a 91st minute today to beat Leicester City. I don't know if you are getting me. West Ham did a 91st minute to draw a Tottenham Hotspur.
94.
It was 94.
94
going 95. Yeah, 9 minutes.
A lot of 9 minutes go this weekend, man.
Everything. So you can see it's football. Every second counts. Every second actually matters. You can't rule anybody off except a team that is ready to just accept defeat or accept loss.
Wow.
All of us are aware of the Fergie time. Fergie time starts from 1991. so we've always seen that. It has started from that a long time ago. So it's like everybody's implementing the Fergie time now as it stands.
Yeah. I think because of connection, Tunde's connection, I think, is no more on the podcast. Can't see him here. He's not connected. I think we've done justice to all the games. It's been fair. We've done justice to the most games, the top 8.
Yeah, that's good.
We have. Yeah, like we said earlier at the beginning of the podcast, we said this episode is dedicated to the fight. It's dedicated to the fight, the protest going on currently in Nigeria. We're in support of it, the reformation that we are all calling out for, of the police force, ending SARS and ending police brutality. It's been fun doing this with you guys. I really appreciate this. Thank you, Samiat. Thank you, Chimamaka. And we will be back next week to review the game week 6. It's getting interesting. It's getting better and better. Aston Villa, 4 games, 4 wins. So interesting.
EPL like never before.
So interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah, to all our listeners, we're going to post this on YouTube and on other platforms and call Google Podcasts and also AFROTIVITY as well. You can listen to the audio version of this podcast and you can also watch it on YouTube. We're on social media platform. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. And we are on YouTube. Please subscribe and click the notification button after subscribing to get juicy content from us here on FootyWit Podcast. From me to you guys, say bye, take care, have a nice week.